In the world of finance, there's a huge revolution brewing. And believe it or not, it's all happening right inside your digital wallet. We're starting to move way beyond old school credit scores. We're entering a new era where your reputation isn't some secret number cooked up by a big company, but it's based on your public actions. So let's explore how your on-chain history is pretty much becoming your most valuable asset.
Just think about this for a second. What if your credit score wasn't just some mysterious three-digit number that you have no control over? What if, instead, it was a totally transparent story? A story of your actions, your participation, and how trustworthy you really are. That's the huge shift we're diving into today.
And this quote, it absolutely nails it. Your digital wallet is no longer just a simple box for your crypto. It's becoming the narrator of your financial story. It's your resume, it's your public ledger, and it's the key that's going to unlock all kinds of opportunities in this new digital economy. Okay, let's really get into it. To truly get what's so new and exciting here, we kind of have to look at what we're leaving behind. What we're witnessing is a fundamental, ground-up change in how we even establish and measure trust in the financial world. So on one side, you've got traditional credit. It's often trapped by where you live, controlled by a handful of giant institutions. Your credit history in one country, it almost never follows you to another. But on the other side, Web3 just flips this whole script. Your reputation is completely borderless, and it's built directly on your actions on the blockchain, actions that anyone can verify. Trust isn't handed down by some company, it's something you earn through your participation.
So if trust is built on our behavior, what kind of behaviors are we actually talking about here? Let's break it down. Let's look at the anatomy of what really makes up a strong on-chain reputation.
Right, so it's not about just one thing. It's really a whole mosaic of your actions. Yeah, sure, repaying your DeFi loans on time is super important, but it goes so much deeper than that. Are you actually helping to govern the projects you're invested in? Are you a loyal, long-term user of certain apps? Every single transaction, every vote, every little interaction over time adds another brushstroke to the portrait of your on-chain reputation.
Okay, let's zoom in for a second on this one concept, DAO governance. The best way to think about it is, it's like being an active shareholder in a company that's run by the community. When you vote on proposals, when you help shape a project's future, you're not just a passive user anymore, you're a builder. And that kind of participation is a huge signal of your commitment, and it's a key way you build trust.
All right, so you've acted responsibly, you've been a good digital citizen, and you've built a strong on-chain reputation. The big question is, so what? What's the payoff? Well, this is where it gets really interesting because that reputation, it translates directly into real, tangible economic advantages. This is where your good name literally becomes financial leverage. The path to opportunity here is actually super clear and direct. It all starts with your consistent, responsible actions inside the ecosystem. Then over time, those actions build a strong, publicly verifiable reputation. And finally, that reputation you worked so hard for becomes the key that unlocks financial privileges and opportunities that you just couldn't get otherwise. It's this powerful feedback loop where good behavior gets directly rewarded. So, what do these rewards actually look like? Well, the holy grail, the big one, is the under-collateralized loan, the ability to borrow money based on your reputation, not just on how much collateral you have. I mean, this is revolutionary. It mirrors how trust works in the real world, but now in a digital, borderless way. And beyond that, a strong rep can get you higher borrowing limits, early access to cool new projects, and even more influence in how these communities are run. But, and this is a big but, this system isn't without its shadows. For every single benefit, there's a potential risk we absolutely have to talk about. It is crucial that we look at the other side of this coin. And that's a totally fair question, right? Because pretty much every revolutionary idea has a catch. When we build a system on a permanent public record, the potential downsides become incredibly real, and they really demand our attention. Let's just break these risks down. First, reputation permanence. On the blockchain, there is no delete button. Your mistakes, your bad decisions, they can literally follow you forever. And that leads to the second fear, creating some kind of decentralized social scoring system where your entire on-chain life is constantly being judged. And finally, maybe the scariest one is the risk of identity correlation, where your supposedly anonymous wallet gets linked to your real-world identity, completely destroying any promise of privacy. When you boil it all down, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. In this new world, your reputation isn't just some social idea. It's a financial asset. It is a form of capital that you build, you invest in, and you can leverage.
And that leaves us with one final, really provocative question to think about. We're heading into a future where all these lines are getting incredibly blurry. If your wallet's history is what dictates your opportunities, how long is it before that history becomes the main definition of who you are?
Subscribe and visit Web3 Newswire for visibility and credibility of your Web3 projects.